Good afternoon, traders and investors around the world. Welcome to this May 16th, Tuesday edition of Pre-Market Prep Plus. Joel Elconin manning the controls here on an inside day. We're going to ask Mr. Christian Fromhertz when he comes on. When's the last time he saw that? Let's recap things. We have not taken out the pre-market high. Pre-market high stands at 51.50. That's short of Monday's high at 64.50. I believe it. Monday's high 56 and a quarter. On the downside, I thought we had some momentum to get down to yesterday's low. Yesterday's low at 41.23, 41.27 low, folks, and you have a chop fest here at the 41.35 to 41.40 area. Eventually, the Bulls or the Bears are going to have to make a stand here. We'll talk about the strength in the market in just a few minutes here. The buck is up 12. Let's call it 13 cents at 102.40. Nudging up against those trio of highs right at the 102.60 area. Bonds find some support again, reach its lowest level since early March, and now climbing back. We're down 19.30 seconds at 129 and 630 seconds. You have crude in the red by 39 cents, and you talk about some oil stocks getting tan. We'll cover those in a few minutes. Gold back under 2K, down 28.70 in 1894. Silver under 24. I thought that 23.90 support would hold. Well, it's shaking. We're down 35 cents at 23.945. Bitcoin futures giving a little back from yesterday's 1,000+ day, down $385 at 27,090. Good afternoon, traders. Let's get to some of the movers here. And boy, oh boy, we're going to be preaching to the choir here. But what do we have? We have not letting this market go down is your mega cap tech here. A consistent theme that we've been talking about. Let's get the 24-hour price action in here for Apple. Apple Inc. right here, moving up, closing in on the recent post-earnings high. Let's make this the 24-hour chart. And Microsoft, let's see, up 1.25%. New high, the move, the Gookster in the 120, up 360. That's your biggest winner of the top components. Back over 120 as we speak. We got a monthly high. Alert, alert to our traders of the Gookster. We got a monthly high, 123.26. That was going back to August of last year. Another monthly high, 123.14, 123. That's our next target here for Goog. Amazon not wanting to be left behind. That's up 272 at 113.92. That's making a new high for the move. Finally getting over that February high. New high for the year. NVIDIA, we'll see if Christian hold on to that little chunk for 300. Got to 98.70 today, up 433. That's 1.5%. And Meta, that's not moving as much. But what did we talk about this morning, folks? We talked about the triple Qs, and we talked about the triple top and the triple Qs and how it was important to get to that 227 area. Well, it did. It's tacked it on. It can't bring around the rest of the S&P 500 index, but it's trying. It's trying. The triple Qs led by those big stocks. Let's see what we got in the chat here before we bring Christian on here. We got the Amazon here. Home builders near all-time highs. Yeah. People aren't buying clothes or they're not buying stuff at Home Depot, but this home builder going contrary. DHI 112, new all-time high. Lennar, boom. They're not fixing up their houses. They've been buying new houses. Double top on the monthlies here. Let's come out, not a perfect double top. 116.36, 117.54. That's your all-time high if you're holding out for Lennar. If you want to paint it with the broad stroke here, which no one's buying paint at Home Depot. XHB, I wonder what's dragging that down. Must be some of the Home Depot or something like that, dragging that down. The XXB chart still relatively close to all-time highs. What else do we got in the chat? We mentioned a BLDR. I know that thing is being on a tear, and that tear continues on the monthly, making a new high today. And will there be a new all-time closing high? Sure. Both. 1961, your high yesterday, 1990, currently trading 1950. Builder's first source looking strong here. What else here for the mega cap tech? Well, NVIDIA. Well, NVIDIA is NVIDIA coming in, approaching that $300 level, 307.11. January high of 22. No can do today, 98.70. Backing off a little bit, but still a good day. New high for the move, and perhaps we'll get a new closing high. AMD Triple D is whistling Dixie here, up nearly $5, coming into an important area at AMD, 102.43. We have eclipsed our March high. We are now at we're getting close to our August high from last year, 104.59. If you're looking for another target on the upside, for good old AMD. S&P's showed a little bit of weakness here. It's been 41.35 to 40, 41.35 to 40. Here we're showing a little bit of weakness. 22 minutes left in the session. What else do we got here? Baidu held on to its gains and then some. Taking a look at Baidu. Baidu up at the highs of the session. Not seeing any levels sticking out to me there. Bobster, good day, but not a great day. SE getting smoked. That started in the pre-market. Looks like this has a date with a gap. The gap low 68.69, and then you get into a gap down there to 67.56. So that is SE. Anything else? Boom, Para. Oh, I just want to talk about the Warren stocks real quick. Para, pump and dump. If you were buying this Cap One Financial, you got your head chopped off, never got near the pre-market high. In fact, probably opened near the high from the session. Your opening print 94. You shorten that, you don't get much heat. You went to 94.45, down at 91.30. That's down on the sessions. And let's see here. What else do we have trading to take a look at? That's about it, folks. I'm gonna stop the screen share here, and I have Mr. Christian Fromhertz. He's the CEO of Tribeca Trade Group, the founder as well, bringing his technical and fundamental expertise to the show. Christian, how you doing today? Christian, we're not lip readers here.
I'm muted. I'm sorry. Hey, how's it going?
You know what? I'm gonna put a note. Please unmute yourself.
And well, this is what happens when I try to multitask.
And if I was on the radio, I would say, please turn your radio down.
How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Just I'm kind of staying out of this chop and slop. I think today that probably what I should pay attention to more to today. I was looking for a sell-off today. I'm always looking for a sell-off. All the numbers are like crunching together. Yeah. And I watched the big components always of the index, but today I'm like, I saw that level in the Qs, and I'm like, I am not going to fight this market today. And sure enough, you had a break. But we didn't get to yesterday. So when's the last time you've seen an inside day two inside days in a row in the S&P?
Yeah, well, I tell you how I knew that we were going, like the Qs were going to do well today, because I put on. I was thinking the same thing, and I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't have a hedge on for this debt dealing situation or whatever. The trade talks are going well situation. So I put on a hedge in the S&P. So of course, that's always the surefire reason to go long is when when I decide that I need some protection and I put on, some type of a hedge. That's your cue. All, bells should be ringing. You put a hedge on, we're going higher. That's
Did you go? So did you go short term? Did you go long term?
I just,
Tell us about your setup.
yeah, I've been carrying a decent amount of swing trades, and I've been actually like unwinding them, unwinding some trades here and there. But yeah, and I like some of my trades that I have on. They're working really well. So I don't want to take those off just because, oh my God, this is scary because they haven't reached this debt deal. So I would rather just put on some type of an S&P hedge, and again, maybe that will get the S&P out of the range. But for now, um, it just makes sense for me. I feel a little bit more comfortable, and we do have a little bit of event risk with this situation. Even though I think at the end of the day, would like to hear your opinion too, because it feels like we've been through this so many times. But it was 2011
Yeah.
where they really didn't do a good job, and the S&P downgraded the US's credit rating. So
Yep.
I always have that in the back of my mind, and that's why putting on a little bit of a hedge. I
Do you
think.
go a spread? Do you go a put spread, or do you just
No,
go straight puts?
I just did SDS, Sam David
Okay.
Sam. But I
Okay.
think a better way to play it, and I've talked a little bit about this in my trading room, is to maybe put on like either a put fly or a spread.
Mm-hmm.
Put flies are not, the flies are really nice because you really don't have to put a lot of capital on them, but there's no free lunch. You do have to be pretty targeted with your move, to get that trade to work. A spread is better because you don't have to really define exactly like pinpoint the move, but they cost a little bit more. You're going to have to pay something to put that on. So, but yeah, I mean, there's several different ways you could do it. I always get the question, hey, how do I play volatility or so forth? Like, is it through this VIX or that? And it's just, hey, put on a short in the S&P. That's the easiest way to play
Okay.
volatility. But so yeah, I mean,
All right. Let's go
yep,
to So yeah, you took some you're trying to get out of your last piece of Nvidia at
that's right. Yeah,
300. I
yeah,
guess other people are looking at that today. You still hanging in that one high at 298.70. I don't like when a stock hits a high and
yeah.
then backs off $5, but you hanging in there. Florida
I did.
wants to know.
I did. I did take a little bit off today, and I was looking at. I was like, geez, this thing hit 298. And I'm in another semi too, where I'm really close to my price target too, which is a new trade. And at this point, like I'm dealing with the very last piece of the trade, and I don't like, if I see it down to 293, like, and I might re-add that target, until I get that $300 level, which is, again, I'm not just making up that level. It is associated with volume at price. And that's a big, key level. Plus, it's got the psychological level too of 300. So, yeah,
Okay.
I'm messing with fire a little bit because it's so damn close. But
Let's
another,
talk
like,
about let's talk
yeah.
about, you said you're in some other semi trades. You can drive if you want.
Oh,
You
sure,
could
yeah,
take the screen here.
yeah. Let's do it.
New all-time high for Oracle. But what you got? What you got for me?
Well, I just lost the screen that I had you up on. So give me 1 second. What did I do with this? Sometimes if I'm not, there we go. I got to move it over. Got to reconfigure there a little bit. Is this thing on? Hello. All right, here we go. Yeah, so this was a move that, like, again, like, you just really have to be patient in this market. This is Lamb Research. I don't have a specific catalyst for this, but there was no news or an upgrade or anything that I saw, but I've just been watching this name for a couple of weeks because the price action's been so tight. So I'm looking at right around 567. And there's a lot of there's such bad breath in the market, but there's good breath in terms of the semiconductors. Broadcom, I had to chase this a little bit today, but if you zoom out, you can kind of see same thing. Like, Broadcom really hasn't
Straight
done
on.
much. Yeah, I mean, and
Yeah.
it's coming out of I love these patterns, like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth in an uptrend, and then break higher. It's just such a neat trade. And of course, you could see how many times it's tried to do this and it's stalled. But I do like how it kind of caught up to the 50-day moving average, and all these moving averages kind of converged here. So sometimes that kind of gives it the charge. But this is another one, Rambus. This one's been a little bit tricky because it had this nice little pennant here, and this is sometimes how charts get is they look like they're so neat and so nice of a like a pennant, and then boom, it breaks to the downside, shakes everybody out, right? The old shakeout, and then is ripping to new highs. So
Yeah, that one. You want to hear a good quick story about Rambus?
Yeah.
So in January 2010, it had a flash crash. And
okay.
yeah, and that's when Dennis wrote for the CFA magazine. And he's Dennis is a market structure geek, right?
Yep.
Did you know that? Yep.
I figured that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Hockey geek, market structure geek. And so he wrote an article for the CFA magazine.
I can't go back that far. Yeah.
That said, what if the entire market does a flash crash? And you know what happened in May of that year? In May of 2010? Flash crash.
Flash crash, right?
Yep. Yep. That's when a lot of stock. You could have bought a Accenture at a penny.
I don't. I was an institutional trader then, and I can give you the quick story. Did you tell the Rambus story or
I just did. That was it.
Yeah.
Well, Dennis wrote that article. That was
okay. I just want to make sure you
give me your institutional story.
So first of all, there's a headline on the tape: Biden has shortened Asia trip amid debt limit negotiations. So there was some talk today about what he was going to do because he was supposed to be leaving to go on this international trip. And I guess so he's shortening the Asia trip amid this negotiation. So I guess they didn't get anything done today. I'm assuming. I didn't hear what happened. But my quick story was, so when I was trading, I was block trading, ETFs for Merrill Lynch back in the day. And, on the institutional trading desk, like when people really wanted to put on risk quickly, they would go to the ETF desk. So a lot of guys would trade, like for hedge funds, they trade both like what's known as cash, just stocks. And they also, mix in some ETFs. So, we could get hit by multiple different desks in terms of, our little ETF trading desk. I say little, but it was very large in terms of the amount that we used to trade. But there's only a couple of us trading ETFs, but it could be, you could get orders from derivative salespeople. You could get derivatives from the cash traders. You could get orders from an international desk. We had a San Fran, so we had buttons on our, turret that would light up. But so before you could even all of a sudden you started to see the market sell off, and we really didn't know what was happening. And by the time, in about like 30 seconds, when people figured out, and of course, some of the hedge funds figured out before anybody else, like, hey, there's some type of a glitch going on. And all of a sudden, normally we get asked to make risk markets. Hey, I need an offer. Hedge funds were just sending over orders to us for SPY queues and just saying, buy, just buy it, buy. And they weren't asking for offers. They were basically coming over with huge orders, and we were getting hit. We would be somewhat in the center of our institutional trading floor. And we were just getting bombarded for about 20 minutes with, so people knew that it was like not a, severe, major thing. It was basically not a glitch or error, but everybody was buying. And I was like, before we had even had a chance to understand what was going on, we're like, why are we getting all these buy orders? None of them are sell. There was no panic. People just were all of a sudden just saying basically,
buy.
Yeah,
Huh.
exactly. So
Wow.
yeah, that's my story. And there was a couple times where we were just inundated with orders. And another few other times where we're in the financial crisis. You can see we're selling off here on the headline that they
Yeah,
got
yeah, that is. Yeah, that
that they got
349
nothing.
had, yeah, Biden trip
Yeah.
change according to his source. But you
I'm
think that would be a good thing that he would come back and get it done. But
it's just the fact that they're not making any headway, and the sands are getting the sands are running out in terms of like an hourglass. So
well,
I'm going to
you know what
jump if that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna let you go. I was just gonna
Okay,
say is
cool.
I had to say that it was an inside day and an inside day, and now it's gonna be close here. We just ticked yesterday's low, missed it by a tick, but it looks like we're gonna be taking that out. Christian Fromhertz, he's the CEO and founder of Tribeca Trade Group.
Thank
Getting
you.
in on some bids. Go get them. Go
And
get them,
and
Christian.
that's why I got the hedge on. Thank you.
Yep,
See you.
good call. Good call.
Thanks. Bye bye.
Okay, folks, you got the headline there. We just came within one tick of that low from yesterday. It was hard. It was quick. We went down to 23 and a quarter. You got a low yesterday at 23. Now, underneath that level, underneath that 41.23, we don't have much in there, folks. We got the 4-day low, which was, I believe, last Wednesday's low. Boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. At 12 and a quarter. Yeah, that was last Wednesday's low. And that was on Friday. On Friday, it looked like we were taking that out. We only went 2 ticks lower to 1175. And then you guys know what the story is here. But as of right now, as of 3:52 and 43 seconds, we still got the inside day going, folks. 41.23. We'll see if that starts shaking here in the last few minutes. We did see some imbalances, but small here. It's the news. All right, I gotta get the screen share on here so you guys don't see me bouncing around like a ping pong ball. Let me get my charts up. Let me know what you guys want to see. We got Florida saying the triple Qs topped out, but you know what you have to say here is you have to say that 327 level still Florida. You broke through that. I had the triple Qs. Let's get the triple Qs up here. Put them front and center here. We talked about this level this morning. That is resistance. We took that out 3 highs in a row. Now we are falling back to it. So the key is can we close above it? Or it was just a fake out that the Florida is calling the top here. Who knows in this market, but the debt ceiling is rattling people here with only 7 minutes to go in the session, 6 minutes to go. EKS, we got that news, man. You're like Paul Revere. RXT, let's see, RXT, rack space is getting racked. Boom. Nothing new on there. I don't talk about buck stocks, so we won't talk about that. What else do we have? Oracle making a new all-time high today. Oracle up. It's not a new all-time high in Oracle. I remember when Oracle traded in triple digits, when it traded in the 100 handle up to 106.34. So that's not an all-time high. You did have a breakout at 98, 4 highs in a row at 98. You took that out today, trying to close above it. Important levels for that to hold old resistance. Can it act as new support? The thinker TSM, Warren, we know he's out. That hasn't affected it too much. Still up 27 cents. What I want to talk about some wreckage here is all right. We're about to take out that low from yesterday, folks. They are not getting much of a bounce. That low comes in at 23 and a quarter. That's 23 was the low from yesterday. I think that's where you get the heavy barrage of selling coming in. If they crack that 21, 23 level, we have 5 minutes to go. Let's see what the Bulls and Bears have in store here. Your big tech stocks still green. Microsoft, Apple, Google, Amazon still not relenting here in the final few minutes of the session. What else do we have here to take a look at? That looks like that's a smaller stock. I'm not going to talk about APLD. Going back to the Warren stocks, these banks, just gave back a lot of their gains and then some. You have Bank of America trading down 29 cents after touching the $28 level. Home Depot, not a bad day. We talked about the monthly level there of 277 and change. We talked about it maybe not getting to the pre-market low. Let's take it Home Depot. Yep, was it this low here? 277.50 was your low on November 4th. Today's low comes in at 277.09. That's taking Lowe's along for the ride here. Lowe's is traded down 240, not as much on a percentage basis. We already covered the Capital One Financial. Capital One Financial giving back all those gains and then some. VTS, which was a warrant stock too, that got the pop a little bit faded. We talked about the price discovery and DEO already taking place. That did get back some of its gains. The bulls are stepping in here in a big way, defending that low, that 2041-23 low. They only have to defend it for 3 more minutes before the session's ended. Of course, who knows what can happen in the after hours or the pre-market trading tonight. We are looking. What else do we have to take a look at? Also, I wanted to talk about the oil patch, dragging things down. This got started by Mr. Buffett, down 358. CVX breaking down, not on the lows of the move. ExxonMobil been down 7 of the last 8 sessions. So the exodus out of ExxonMobil, that's an ugly looking chart. And I think it hit those highs on an earnings day. The old earnings day pop for ExxonMobil. Didn't see what Oxy was doing. That didn't get down 42 cents here at 58.10, still in the Warren zone here. Also leading the charge here on the downside is United Healthcare, UNH. That's down 7.56 here. At an important level. Gap after earnings, we came down and tested 478.36, hit 479.01 today. There's your level, 478.36. Looks like we're going to be closing right near the lows of the session. Real quick, Estee Slaughter. What is going on with Estee here? Down $6, unable to recover. Earnings beat down. Gap area, tried to get in there on 2 different occasions. Now you got to be looking for a test of the low of the move, 190.30. Bulls still hanging in here, 23.25. We'll see what we get here in the closing 1 minute, folks. We are in the final minutes. Going to be closing on the lows of the session. Not doing much for Meta, just goes red there. The first of the mega cap tack, but still Apple, Microsoft. There's that low, 23 even. We're taking that 22.5 lows. Buyers still I can't save the market, Rustical. But there we go. We did take out the low. So much for the inside day. The old Biden cutting the trip to Asia short sinks the markets in the last 11 minutes of the day, bearing down now on the lower end of the trading range. My clock says about 20 seconds here. Markey throws in Hasbro. Boom, down. Coming off the high of the move, what we'll keep an eye on Hasbro is the high of the move yesterday, 62.36. Couldn't quite get there today, 61.79. 61 marks the spot in that one. That splits the lows from the last 2 sessions, 61.32, 60.82, folks. And we're closed right off the lows of the session. We just take 22.25. The Bears win today. I'll have to write a different recap article. Thought we were just going to have a lazy close. But that's it, folks. I'm going to call the closing price right around 23.5. That's right near the low of 22.25. Folks, a bad day being in the market, but I got some worse news for you. That worse news is this is the last closing print of the week, and there will be no pre-market prep plus the rest of the week. You all are on your own. You guys be nice to Triple D. Help out, Aaron. This is Joel signing off. We'll talk to you guys real soon.